First of all, I do not consider the training process in its separate parts. So strength training is ambiguous. There's a continuum of very general to very specific, and there's implications therein all along the continuum as to indirect and direct transfer in the adaptation process. So the first question is not to look at the training process in its separate parts relative to the sport structure. The first consideration is to scrutinize heavily the sport structure itself, and from there begin your determination as to how optimally you can prepare an athlete for that structure. And so, in a nutshell, the current infrastructure of the sport training process in the industry of strength and conditioning is already doing what I've criticized in the beginning of this interview. It is a compartmentalization of a process that should be much more organic. So, if we think about how to optimally prepare an athlete for a defined sports structure, it is first and foremost required that we have the aptitude and the resources available to perform the most accurate diagnostic assessment, because most of the available specialist and accurate literature is stemming from overseas resources. Most of the research has been targeted towards Olympic disciplines. Therefore, here in the West, regarding more of the team sports that are perhaps not as popularly studied at the Olympic level, because obviously there are team sport competitions at the Olympic level, the institutions of academia and certifying organizations and whatever the coaching qualification models are grossly lacking in the proper direction. And so it's a big problem, and to address how to properly prepare an athlete requires the study of information and time motion analysis and so on that is hard to come by, at least hard to come by with any degree of usefulness if it's been studied in the West, because of the limitations of the Western sport training machine, as it were. So I can't look at things in their separate parts. I certainly cannot consider the strength training for this sport, the strength training for that sport, because it's the total preparation process, and strength training is only one small part of preparing an athlete for a defined sport structure.